in the corruption matrix. Hundreds of teachers convicted of everything from theft to manslaughter. So, why are they allowed to stay in the classroom? Would you want your kids being taught by these teachers? Come on, let's follow the money. They've killed, stolen your taxpayer money, and committed other horrendous crimes. But wait, they're also teaching our kids. New York City's Department of Education has failed to remove more than 500 criminal teachers from the classroom over the last 5 years. And in Michigan, hundreds of teachers, including at least one charged with a sex crime, are still allowed to be elbow to elbow with our children. So, please tell me again how tenure and public teachers unions don't protect bad teachers. Joining us now, Adam Geller, Republican strategist and former consultant for New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, along with Carl Jeffers, who's also joining us. Adam, the teachers union is pushing to keep these teachers in place?
I mean, where the heck is Beckel to make the point to keep the teachers union, having all these thugs and criminals in there? He's taking sleepy time. It's an outrage. I mean, can you imagine in what other profession would these kinds of behaviors be tolerated? It's just an outrage, and I got to tell you, Eric, as a public opinion pollster, public opinion is pretty strong in favor of tenure reform.
But is it as strong as the unions in this case? Apparently, they're still allowed. I'm guessing they're collecting a paycheck.
Well, the unions have a lot of cha-ching, and I'll tell you, in the case of New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who's taken on the teachers union, they have responded in kind with millions and millions of advertising dollars and negative ads against him while he's governor. Can you imagine if they took that money and instead put it into the classroom?
No, I can't imagine. Let me. Where's Carl Jeffers? Are you there with us, my friend?
I'm here, Eric.
Go ahead. Tell me today. How do you justify this? Here's a teachers union that's pushing to keep teachers who've been convicted of felonies in the classroom sitting next to my kid.
Yeah, well, I think that question is a bit skewed because I don't have to justify that. Those situations that you have pointed out clearly justify that those teachers should be or should have been fired. That's not really what the issue is here. The issue is the negotiation of tenure in the original union contracts. And the reality is
Carl,
that
you're using a lot of words to say one thing. If the teachers got tenure, they can't be fired, even if they're felons.
But Eric, the point is that if you really want to get rid of those examples, which are the most egregious, you've got to get to the legislature, because the legislature can enact laws that would make it possible to fire.
I'm not sure what you're talking
about.
about.
The problem is you have to go up
Carl,
against the lobbyists and the unions.
What's it going to take to get teachers who are convicted of felony, even just crimes, they don't even have to be felons, out of the classroom?
It's going to take significant tenure reform. What we have to do is, first of all, get rid of last one in, first one out. And a lot of times you're getting rid of talented teachers. But secondly, and more importantly, you have to be able to reward good teachers and get rid of bad teachers. Period. End of statement. Common sense. What we really need is a little dose of common sense here.
Fellas.
Everything that Chris Christie stands for is what America stands for on this issue, and this is why he's such a hero, folk hero to millions of Americans. And I hear people bring up Chris Christie on my radio show almost every single day. Common sense reform is what's needed. This tenure is insane. It destroys any chance for competition among good teachers, and you're right, it's an outrage to even have a debate that these felons would be allowed to continue to teach our kids.
Go ahead, Andrew.
It's making me a little teary-eyed. I'm getting a little nostalgic for Mary Kay Letourneau when we were shocked by that.
It's the good old days.
We were once shocked by that.
Go ahead, Carl. You want to jump in here real quick?
Yeah, Eric. Listen, let's not forget, though, what we're discussing here. I don't think there's anyone on this panel who thinks that the particular individuals who committed these acts that have been brought out should retain their jobs. That's not what we're talking about. It's the gray area that the original tenure rules were implemented for thousands of teachers who are not criminals, but who are victims of the first in, first out.
Well,
and we have to address that.
All right, hold on. Go ahead.
But the point is that let's start with this particular example and say, why can't we remove these teachers? That's the starting point right here. Are there gray areas? Of course there are gray areas. We can get to the gray areas. Right. But let's get to this area right now.
Well, we're going to have to say thank you to Adam Geller.